5 of the 7 sea turtle species come and nest on occasion, caused by many environmental issues. Of all of the environmental people I know trying to save our planet, and especially to save the turtles, Chris Brown is the absolute unsung hero of the industry.
Well, thank you. But I've got to tell you now, when I started here, what I knew about turtles, right on the back of a postage stamp with a crayon. Many years ago, when I was just here and walking along the beach, as I came here, I was the first foreigner to live in this area, to start up a dive business or whatever here. There was 4 rooms at one hotel, Pondok Sari then. And so I just had a couple of divers a week or whatever. That was good. I was doing all the diving, all the things. It was great. And then I'd wander around and talk to people at the village and all that a lot. I didn't get to know a number of cups of coffee and tea I had to drink. And say, come in, Mum, here, come in. I said, oh yeah, okay. This was before I could realise that it wasn't rude to say, oh no thanks. And they just say thanks. It's amazing how many people who just bring me up a cup of coffee or a bottle of Coke and some cakes and bread or things like this. And the people living in grass huts. And that's amazing how the happiest people. The better the house has got, the less happy the people got. Anyway. So I got to know the people, they got to know me and all that. And so it was a really good foundation here. And I always thought, being the first Malay foreigner to come here, kind of changed my life a little bit and set a good example. By coming back along the beach one day here, I saw just next door here, a couple of fishermen were there and they had this turtle and it was tied up in a little pond that was there. I said, oh, what are you going to do with that? They said, oh, satay. Oh! They said, why, you want to buy it? If I don't buy it? Yeah, satay. I said, okay, how much? And that was a grand total of 13,000 rupiah.
Wow.
This big. That was a lot of money for the people in those days.
Sure.
So I said, yeah, okay, fine. Then I had it here, and I had it, and I thought, what am I going to do with it now? If I release it, well, something just was inside me saying I had to try and find a way to help protect. And then about a week later, some other people had another turtle, so I bought that. I think that cost me 15,000. So I had these 2 green turtles here, and I was putting them on ropes and let them out during the day on the reef to feed and swim.
On ropes?
Evening, on ropes, yes. In the evenings they'd come back in, I'd bring them back in and put them in the wrench tanks in the dive gear. So yeah, once we get rid of the dive gear, we put the turtles in the tanks, and they were happy, it's fine. And people coming along going, you mean bastard, you. And I said, why are you doing this? I said, well, I'm trying to come up with some reason, some way to help protect these turtles. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, here's 20,000, here's 40,000, something like that. And people give me a bit of money. I think, right, okay, what am I going to do?
Buy more turtles.
No, I did end up buying more turtles. It was okay. Well, then I got in touch with the people from KSDA, which is Sumber Daya Alam, which is the government conservation people in the south. Went down there with one of the villagers, so we talked with them, and then we went over and saw what they had at Turtle Island, Serangan Island down near Sanur. And I thought, all right, well, maybe we can do something. And I've been thinking, and then some of the rangers came back from a trip to Java collecting eggs, going down to the Turtle Island project. They stopped in here and they said, oh, listen, we've got a spare box of eggs here, would you like that? It'll cost you, but yeah, it was okay. I said, yeah, okay, fine. And so as we opened it, it was boxing 250 eggs. The turtles were already hatching.
Cool.
So what we did, we put them in some little tanks, all that, and then I thought, now what am I going to do with these? and answers just keep coming up, popping up, and it's like we're raising them in these tanks, and we had some locals come along and said, "Hi, listen, we found some eggs. Do you want those?" So people would bring me eggs. And I'd give them a little bit for it and say thank you. Then we started to realise a lot of the eggs they brought in weren't hatching because they weren't being specific. And the ones in Turtle Island told us about how to relocate the eggs. So you've got to be within a certain amount of time and move them, not to shake them too much, and keep the top with a little X or something on there. So we learned how to do it. So what we'd do, we'd go down, the people would find the eggs and say, well, call us instead, and we'll come down and collect them. Really? Yeah. And then we started, because what the people before would say, they'd find a turtle or find the eggs, and they'd go, thank you, God, I've got something to eat or something to sell to get some money to buy rice to feed my family. So it's like, is that survival sort of thing, which you and I would probably do if we were in the same situation. So, and I said, okay, well, how much you get at the markets for it? I think then it was like 300 an egg. I said, okay, well, we'll give you 400. So it's up now to 3,000 an egg. So we've always tried to keep it higher than the market price, so it's a benefit for them. They said, okay, and we'll come down and collect the eggs. I said, well, but if you bring the eggs to us, you have to wait till they hatch, and we'll pay you for each one to hatch. Well, hey, we're not stupid. We'll let you do the work. You pay us more. We get more. We're happy. That's great. And I said, then you realise that the adult turtle, mother turtle, can come in. They don't communicate with the ones in the next one.
Oh,
They
yeah.
communicate with each other to form and say, okay, ready for, we all work together to climb out. So if they get this, the one here is over here. Oh, work together to climb out. Okay, start climbing. But the other ones weren't ready there. It was like, oh, hang on, this is hard. So, yeah, that. And then turtles hatch there. We put rocks around so we know where the next nests are. We put them in the tanks. Then some silly-looking tourists come along and pay us a donation to release them. Good.
Which pays for the next eggs.
Which pays for the next eggs and pays for the fish. We buy the fish from the local fishermen, pays to run the project, and so on. So yeah, for the first 10 years, I was paying for it all myself. Then I started to realise that we'd had a thing there for guests. If they want to make a donation, they could. They'd say, oh no, we already paid our driver a huge amount to come here to see this. No, we shouldn't have to pay you anymore. I said, what? See that sign up there says this is free. Yep. Oh, right. So then had to change it, and then to put on 20,000 rupee donation has gone up, inflation 25,000 now, and that for people to come in just to see it. And part of that also helps to pay the staff to come in and say the same story 10, 20, 30 times a day. I know, I used to do it. So it just continues on like that. So with the staff learning, telling the story, they're going back talking to other people in the village. The other people getting the money are talking to other people in the village. We have other people coming from other villages coming to see what we're doing. And so it just going to happen. So keep it very simple. No marine biologists here or no major expertise. Simple, kiss it, keep it simple so other people can copy it. And that's a major thing. What also happened, we started to give the fishermen, because some of the fishermen bring us the turtles, we've given them a bit of donation each month to help them. Then they brought in the rule themselves, even with the Indonesian laws not allowed to catch the turtles or whatever, that's here or there, that anyone in the fishing organisation, any of the fishermen, if they got a turtle caught in their nets, because it happened quite often, the hawksbill turtles get caught in the shallow nets. And they just damage the nets and they lose their catch and all that. So before they used to take them and kill them or eat them or sell them to reimburse them for the nets. But the fishermen made their own rules that they had to bring the turtles in here, either release it straight away or bring it to here. We give them a small reward, then we find we've got one in here now. It's already been in once this season, but back again. That's okay. We put a little hole in the end of the shell, we know. Sometimes we get them 2, 3 times come in. I don't mind giving people that. One fisherman said, I caught this one 3 times, but this time I let it go because I was worried that God would get angry at me because I already made enough money from him. So it's like using a little bit of their culture, their religion, and blending with a little bit of my knowledge and all that. So then we give them a little bit of reward, and we find a guest to make a bigger donation to release that. So then half of that, the residual of half of that, we give back to that fisherman, or the person, whatever. They think, wow, great, I'm making money out of protecting, great, wonderful. The other half we keep here. Then each time the fishermen have a ceremony, we give them a lump sum, so they can have a better ceremony. So what they publicise at the ceremony, we can now have a better ceremony because you guys have been protecting the turtles, and from the Turtle Project has now given us this much money to have a better ceremony. They go, wow, better ceremony, gods are happier, safe at sea, better fishing, and so on. So utilising, I'm not saying using, but utilising their local beliefs, understanding to help protect. And so that's it in a nutshell. We do it, and we get money to run it all now from people like yourselves and other people coming along. You might have seen here it's pretty busy here during the day. This is quiet season. I don't have any signs apart from a small sign on the beach there saying Turtle
That's
Project.
amazing.
Yeah. nothing at the front, nothing, but we still people coming in. And so it just works well. It's been simple. We like to keep it that way. In a nutshell, that's how we do it.
Good job.
Very good.
Now we're going to do a lot more reporting to the government ones. We always reported, but then some stupid NGOs decided they'd heard that we had turtles in tanks here and charging people to come and see them, decided they wanted to close us down. And they're still hassling the conservation department, who we've worked with the day dot. They know all about us. But these NGOs would think things, and other people come in and say, well, you know, you shouldn't be charging people to do this. You know, you should just do this off your own bat. Okay, well, you go and do something off your own bat like that. I did it for 10 years.
Right.
I paid a lot of money to do this. Now, I'm not making, well, actually I am making money because people support my business here. That's where I make the money.
Sure.
Of course, I'm doing the right thing. The turtles, the money for the turtles all goes to the turtles, or other things for education in the village, or doing projects in the sea. So it all goes in for the habitat, the dome, and the whole thing. Now, we even have a dance we created called Bedouin Taksu, Spirit of the Turtle Dance. Oh, you'll see tomorrow night, yeah.
Yep.
The dancers, and they'll do the turtle dance. They are leather shells, not real shells they use on their backs. And so we created that to, dances about everything else in Bali, but nothing about the turtle. Who the Balinese believe that the god Vishnu is supporting the world on his back as a turtle. So that's it.
What about this one here? Boom.
This one here, Burma, she was great, but she was the last one for the very first batch of eggs that we had. That was to be released. And she came back the next day. We know it was her because we had a bit of yellow paint on it. And she got released 5 times over the years. Each time she came back the same day or the next day. The last time was by the village head. We had a big release of turtles with the school children. And she came back that afternoon, kind of up on the beach and got, right, I've had my jalan, my travel around. Back to room service, please. And so, back here. We had permission to keep her from the government, all that. But then after she's about 17 years old, one day she starts to me she's not eating. The next day she was dead.
Aww.
So, we couldn't get an autopsy done on her here to find out what happened, but I got permission from the government ones to preserve her and put her here. Remember, a lot of people sending me emails from all over the world saying, oh, we're so sad, we know Burma, we really love seeing her here, this and this and this, and we're so sad. Anyway, at the same time, after that happened, one of the dancing girls before, her father is Wayan, the dive guide, one of the dive guides. She'd found this little turtle years ago, hatchling on the beach, lost in the shrubs. All the other ones had gone out, and this one just lost in the shrubs. So she took it home, put it in a pond, and it grew and grew and grew to about this big, 6.5 years old. And when Burma died, she said, oh, listen, can I put my one here? So I rang up conservation people, yes, okay, fine. We did that from there. That is now Buddy. So we mainly get olive ridley shells, eggs now, since the El Nino in the mid-90s. Before that, we mainly got hawksbill and green. After that, we mainly got olive ridleys.